The marriage of convenience. The champagne flowed like liquid gold through the crystal glasses at the Cole Manor reception, but Emma Reed felt nothing but the cold weight of the diamond ring on her finger. She stood beside Ethan Cole, her new husband, watching him laugh with his business associates, men in tailored suits who looked at her with barely concealed curiosity, as if wondering what a tech billionaire was doing with someone so ordinary. "Your wife is quite shy, isn't she?" Marcus Chen, Ethan's business partner, remarked with a smirk. Ethan glanced at Emma, his gray eyes sweeping over her simple cream dress, elegant but understated, much like everything about her. "She's quiet," he said dismissively, swirling his whiskey. "But that's what makes her perfect. No drama, no demands. Just there." Emma's fingers tightened around her glass, but she said nothing. She'd learned early in their whirlwind arrangement that Ethan Cole didn't marry her for love. He married her because his board demanded stability, because his playboy reputation was threatening a crucial merger, because she was safe, a nobody from a modest background who would be grateful for the scraps of his attention. What he didn't know was that Emma had her own reasons for accepting, reasons she kept locked behind her gentle smiles and patient silences. The marriage had been arranged by her elderly guardian, the only family she'd known after her parents' death when she was 12. On his deathbed 6 months ago, he'd made her promise to accept Ethan's proposal, cryptically telling her that the truth would reveal itself in time. The vanishing Emma left on a Thursday morning while Ethan was in Singapore closing a deal. She didn't take much, just her mother's locket, a few photographs, and the clothes she'd brought into the marriage. Everything Ethan had given her remained untouched in the closet. Designer dresses with tags still attached, jewelry she'd never worn, the credit cards she'd never used. On the kitchen counter, she left her wedding ring and a simple note. "I release you from this arrangement. Don't look for me. No explanations, no accusations. Just silence." The only language Ethan had ever taught her. The first person to notice was Maria, the housekeeper, who found the note and immediately called Ethan's assistant. By the time Ethan received the message, he was boarding his private jet, annoyed at the interruption. "She probably went to visit a friend," he told Jennifer dismissively. "Emma's too timid to actually leave. She'll be back." But days turned into weeks, and Emma didn't return. Her phone went straight to voicemail. The few acquaintances Ethan contacted had no information. It was as if she'd simply evaporated from existence. "Maybe you should file a missing person report," Marcus suggested during a board meeting, but Ethan waved him off. "She's an adult. If she wants to throw a tantrum, let her. She'll come crawling back when she realizes what she gave up." His confidence masked a strange, unfamiliar feeling gnawing at him, something that might have been concern if Ethan Cole believed himself capable of caring. What he didn't know was that Emma hadn't vanished at all. She'd simply gone home. The sleek black car pulled up to Reed Manor, a sprawling estate hidden behind gates and ancient oak trees, invisible to the public eye. Emma stepped out, her simple clothes at odds with the grandeur surrounding her. A silver-haired man in an impeccable suit descended the marble stairs, his stern face breaking into a rare smile. "Welcome home, Miss Reed." Richard Wellington, the family's head butler and her late guardian, greeted her. "Your grandfather has been waiting." "Uncle Richard," Emma corrected softly, embracing the man who'd raised her. "I'm sorry it took me so long." Inside, the manor buzzed with quiet efficiency. Staff members bowed respectfully as Emma passed. These were people who'd known her since childhood, who'd watched her live in deliberate obscurity for reasons she was only beginning to understand. In the library, surrounded by first editions and priceless art, sat Harrison Reed, a man whose name commanded respect in the highest echelons of global finance. At 83, his mind remained sharp as the day he'd built his empire from nothing. "Emma," his voice was warm, his arms open. "My granddaughter." She'd only recently learned the truth. The guardian who'd raised her had been acting on Harrison Reed's orders, keeping her hidden and safe after her parents, Harrison's son and daughter-in-law, died in what was ruled an accident, but suspected to be murder by business rivals. Harrison had kept his family's wealth secret, protecting his only remaining heir by making her invisible. For the first time in his life, Ethan Cole felt truly powerless. His empire, built on his brilliance and arrogance, was crumbling. And in the devastating silence of his empty penthouse, he finally understood what he'd lost. Emma had tried to warn him once, 3 weeks before she left. She'd mentioned seeing Marcus leave the office at odd hours, noticed discrepancies in financial reports she'd accidentally glimpsed. But Ethan had laughed. "Stick to what you know, Emma. Leave business to people who understand it." Now those words haunted him as everything fell apart.